Welcome to Vivid Bits. Today we are counting down the top 5 craziest combat stories told on the Shawn Ryan Show, all the way from Delta Force operators to Navy SEALs. Here are some crazy stories that will have you on the edge of your seat the whole time. All credit goes to Shawn Ryan and the Shawn Ryan Show. All the links to the full interviews will be linked in the description below. Now let's get right into the video. Coming in at number 5, SEAL Team 6 operator Rob O'Neill recounts the moment he found out he was on the Osama bin Laden mission.
So at this point, Osama bin Laden is a ghost, and he's not even on my fucking radar. I was at the point, just being at SEAL Team 6, I remember thinking, I hope I get to meet the guy from Delta that kills bin Laden. This is as close as this is awesome. I hope I meet him. So like one of the big, we did the biggest thing we did on this one was we found an Al-Qaeda guy, Abu Ikhlas al-Masri or some shit like that, who was a tier 1 target in Korangal, and we did a snatch and grab on a highway and got him. This other strike team we're doing stuff. One of the newer guys, first deployment with Red Team, actually got 6 kills at once with a saw, which I thought like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we're watching this, this is January of 2011, and that's all we're doing, and you know, trying to develop shit. But I'm more planning training trips for when we get back, making sure the guys on my team are running their trips the right way, where we're going to go. And we planned the first trip back for my team, my troop actually, was to go to Miami to dive, because our biggest concern is more piracy. The pirates have been adjusting to what we're doing. They had motherships. Can we do open water dives on a ship that's not, or a ship that is anchored? How do we find it? What can we do? And we're just coming up with shit. But we're done with deployment, and we're also in South Beach. So I want guys to have fun. We're going to train, but then we're going to go to happy hour.
Yeah.
Hang out on the beach, have some drinks, then we're going to train tomorrow. And we were down there. We're staying at the Courtyard Marriott near South Beach. And we're outside. Well, before we went on this trip, our boss, the commanding officer of Red Squadron, was coming on the trip. And we're kind of like, well, that's a drag because we can't have as much fun with the CO there. But he got pulled. They're like, yeah, he's got to go to D.C. for something, so we're good. And we didn't know why the CO and the Master Chief went to D.C., but we're down there. And then my boss got a call, my troop commander, and he said, hey, we got to go back. We got to go back to Virginia Beach. So pack your shit up as soon as you can. We're going to get the first flights out of here. I'm like, what the hell? All right, what's going on? Fuck, I don't know. So we flew back to Virginia Beach, and they brought 28 of us into a room. Now, we've got guys on different trips that got pulled in, senior guys from there was a rock climbing trip in Nevada, but the senior guys got called in, and then other guys came in from Arizona, and then we're here. And other dudes are junior guys at SEAL Team 6 are there, but they're not into this secret room. And they said, all right, you guys are here because this is not a drill. This is real. We found a thing, and this thing is in a house. And this house is in a bowl, and this bowl is in a country. And you guys you're gonna go get this thing, and you're gonna bring it back to us and show it to us. And we're like, okay, no sweat. First we're wondering why us, but okay, well, what's the thing? Well, we can't tell you. Okay, well, how are we getting there? Can't tell you. What country is this? We can't tell you. How are we getting there? Can't tell you. How much air support? None. Like, all right, that's an answer. No air support. That's all we know. And they said also we're only bringing shooters. Only SEALs are going on this. So we can't bring our kick-ass Air Force CCT, the radio guys. We can't bring the PJs, who are paramedics or fucking medics. So if you know any medical shit, you bring some medical shit. If you know how to use a radio, you're the radio guy. And keep it light, because we only have a certain. So we're like, what the fuck is going on? And so we would walk around. We're trying to get our shit ready. We knew there would be two birds. That's all we knew. We assumed it would be ospreys off of a flat top going into Libya, because the Arab Spring had just started, and we're going to go get Gaddafi, and they want to interrogate him. So we're going to get him, and it's got to be that. But we're walking down. We're in the new building, where all of the cages are together on the bottom, and we're running into guys from other squadrons, and they're like, hey man, we heard something's going on, what's going on? And we're literally like, I have no fucking idea. And they got mad at us because they thought we were lying to them. It's like, and we'd run into them when we'd go out at night. Like, guys, I don't know what we're doing, but we're getting our shit ready. This went on until Friday, and they said, okay, everyone go home. be with your kids, and you're coming back on Sunday, and we're going to drive you somewhere, and we're going to read you in on what this is. And we're like, okay, who's going to be there at the read-in? And the tired bosses were like, oh, probably the vice president, the secretary of defense, the secretary of the Navy. And we're like, oh my God. And then they're going down the list. They said something, blah, blah, blah. They said CTC pad, blah, 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 blah. And they're going down the list. I'm like, CTC pad, that's CIA counterterrorism, Pakistan, Afghanistan. If we're going to Libya, and I didn't say anything, but we went home, hung out with the kids. We came back on Sunday, and they split us up into vans. We had 4 guys in my van. I got my buddy driving, my other buddy up front. My troop commander, my boss is right here, and then I'm sitting here. And I explained to them on the drive down, we're going to somewhere in North Carolina, and I explained to them exactly what I just said here. And I said, this isn't Gaddafi. They found bin Laden. And my boss looked at me, and there was no cheers. He goes, that's exactly what I was thinking. So we just start talking about this, and my buddy driving the van, I'll never forget the way he looked at me in the mirror, and he said, man, O'Neill, if we kill Osama bin Laden, I will suck yo dick. And we had a laugh about it. Then, fast forwarding, obviously 3 weeks to the day, we're looking down at bin Laden in his house, and I said, well, now's as good a time as any, I guess. And he's like, oh, fuck you. And I'm like, your bet. But we got down there, and they put us all into a room, and the commanding officer of SEAL Team 6. So each squadron had a commanding officer, but 6 was like a group. So that commander, that CEO came in, and I'll never forget the way he said, the reason you guys are here is this is as close as we've ever been to Osama bin Laden. And it sinks in, but there's, we're professionals, and we're like, okay, are we going right now? We're ready. And they explained to us, they brought in the agency team, which is mostly women, and explained to us, they went into such depth of how they found him in his long briefs. We're all almost like, look, we believe you. I don't need to know this shit. Just you tell me where he is, and I'll carry the gun and the sledgehammer. And they were very cool the way they talked to us. And then they told us that the president had about 5 options to get him. And they said, obviously, carpet bomb the fuck out of it. And I think the Air Force wanted like 22 JDAMs to make sure. And it's like, all right, you're going to kill everyone around.
Yeah.
So we'll never know if we got him. There was something of they called him the pacer. They could see him walking outside. We can hit him with one bomb. But we know how that works. You fuck up that one, you'll never find him again. We actually laughed at this one. They said, we can do a joint op with the Pakistanis. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, tell them about it.
Yeah.
He's fucking out of there. Or you're an option, and then you guys can figure out a way. And so, we're thinking everything jumping in. No, can't do this and whatever. And even the president didn't know about I guess the chief of staff of the Air Force said, well, there is one more option. And he told him about the helicopters that no one knew about. And so then we just started training, and that was an option. So we trained there. It wasn't it was obviously to get to know the exterior, but don't tell me about the interior. I'll figure that out when I get there. Don't tell me there's 7 men and 10 women and 16 children. You tell me how many people you think are there, and I'll figure out what they are when I get there, type shit. And we're just kind of coming up with contingency plans. We wanted to prove to them, the powers that be, that we are a good option, that we know what we're doing. And even got to the point where President Obama said, I was never 100% convinced bin Laden was there, but I was convinced you guys could go in and find out and come home. And so we trained on that, and we tried to think of contingencies, trying to brainstorm everything. What if the cars leave? What if we get squirters? Who's doing what? Coming up to this. And then we would go back to the hotel or whatever we're staying at, and somebody at the CIA had made a 2-scale model of bin Laden's house. I'm talking to the...
No shit.
And so we're talking about it. We're training 12-hour days, then talking about it every night, then doing it over. Helos, we fast rope so much. I have severe tendonitis still from just grabbing that damn rope. Almost to the point, like, can we just simulate we fast rope? I know how to do it. I can fall.
Yeah.
But one night, one of the bosses said, all right, what's the worst thing that could happen? And the youngest guy in the room said, the helicopter could crash in the front yard. And we're like, what the fuck? Why would you bring that karma here?
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know, shouldn't we talk about that for 30 seconds? So we did that, and then we went out west to a certain place, and we were even to a point where I'm known for morale. I want to keep morale high, crack jokes, have fun. But guys were joking around the table one night, and I said, you guys realize this is a one-way mission. You should take this a little bit more seriously. We're not coming back from this one. And then, they're like, shit. And so we get out there though, and they brought us into the movie 0 Dark 30 kind of plays it right, where the SEALs walk in, they see those helicopters, and I remember I started laughing, and they're like, "What's so funny now?" And I said, "Well, before I thought there was a 90% chance we're gonna die, but I didn't know they were sending us in on Transformers." And that was kind of, and it's like, well, these things, someone designed it. The pilots that came out, they gave us the 4 best pilots in the world, Army pilots. They'd never flown these things, and we trained on those for 4 days, and then we went one more time home to see our kids, and then we forward staged to Jalalabad. Because if President Obama gives us the green light, we want to be right there. So, and you still can't. And the reason they picked us is because we had a team already in Afghanistan. We had the National Mission Force, which is for a contingency. But if that team in Afghanistan stopped working and just started training, someone might notice. If the National Mission Force leaves, someone might notice. This squadron is supposed to be leaving. No one's going to care. That was us. So it's better to be lucky than good. So we went over there. There was a squadron over there, and we came in to do the Bin Laden raid, and they knew it. Oh, can you imagine? And I'll tell you what, I cannot say enough good about them. I would have been, fuck you guys. We're SEAL Team 6, and you guys come to do it. They could not have been more welcoming to us. They were pissed, but they were complete pros.
Wow.
And then we waited there. We would play poker with those guys, and they said we actually weren't fun to play poker with because you're like, fuck it, I'm all in too. I'm gonna die tomorrow. Just dark humor. But then we did get the green light, and we're gonna launch. We have Saturday or Sunday to launch because that's our 48 hours of 0% illumination. And if we miss that window, though, we got to wait 30 days. We're going in 0%. And we got lucky because the rumor was that bin Laden was going to leave on September 11th of that year to a new place. That's the rumor. It could be false, but that's what I heard. So we got the green light. We didn't launch on Saturday because of the correspondence dinner. And we figured if the entire cabinet and the president are in a room with the entire press corps and they all get up and leave, the press corps is going to be like, huh, what's that all about?
Yeah.
And I guess even Hillary Clinton was like, wait, we're not launching on Saturday because of fuck those guys, we're launching.
Yeah.
Which Hillary Clinton, I'd never vote for her, but I'd take her in a foxhole. But then, we did on Sunday. We're going to go Sunday, and it's 100% we're going. And we went to, we went into a hangar to get the final brief. We're going over everything that we're going to do. And we're good. We know the exterior. We know who's supposedly there. We talked to the intel analysts. They're with us still in JBAD. And Admiral Bill McCraven, he's given us the last speech, and he said, guys, last night I watched my favorite movie, Hoosiers. And the best part of that movie is when this team from Hickory, Indiana, makes it to the state championship, and they walk into this gym, and it's an arena, and they're starstruck, and they're just looking around. And Coach had one of the guys grab a tape measure and say, what's the distance from the back of the rim to the free throw line? And he said, it's 15 feet, Coach. All right, get on his shoulders, gets on his shoulders. What's the distance from the hoop to the floor? And he said, 10 feet, Coach. And he goes, I'm sure you'll find these are the exact measurements in your gym in Hickory. This is just a bigger arena. And he goes, you guys do this every night. This is just a bigger arena. And then we were leaving, and I remember we went up to him and said, hey, Admiral, you're so fucking busy. I doubt you watched Hoosiers last night, but you were born to give us that speech right now.
Yeah.
And so then we left. We took a team picture, and then we had our gear on, and said goodbye to the guys that were there. And we actually, we're going with the shooters to the first 2 birds, and instead of like giving them a fist pound, it's giving the guys hugs, and it's like, all right, see you on the ground, and then we left. you do your last thing, take a piss or what. Like one of my concerns was how are we going to pee on the way? I don't want to get out and have to pee. Like, and they actually, someone came up with these little, I don't know if they have them now, they're probably common. Those little diapers you unfold, you can pee in them. But I actually, I don't even trust these things. I'm peeing in a bottle and I'll throw it out. I actually kept the damn bottle of piss in my pocket the whole mission. I forgot about it. I was pretty excited. I mean, to the point where we were given access to everything. Like, didn't even need to be approved for use yet. If it works, you can have it. And but we're measured, like we're trying to cut guys off for like, you're too heavy, these two guys, don't carry that because certain pounds of fuel to get there. Because we don't have refuel.
It was that calculated.
We were trying to keep it to that. 32 minutes on the ground. We had a dude come in, I don't remember what the hell he was trying to sell us, but he said, here's this box that it jams everything. Like it jams cell, but like it can jam landlines, it jams this shit, and it weighs, and it's like a kilometer radius.
Wow.
And one of the guys goes, has it been tested in a helicopter? And he goes, no. And he goes, I have a better idea. Can you invent something that's only 30 pounds? It's the radius of this room and it jams bad ideas. That's a good shit. Anyway, so we went out there and we got in the birds and then we took off and we left. And we had a 90-minute flight into his house. We actually had more birds behind us. There was actually blue team guys in 47s and Chinooks behind us. 45 minutes, and then there was more on the border with Rangers, and then there was more.
Oh wow!
Because the word I got, I wasn't there, and this is some South Side Chicago fucking politics. Was when they told President Obama our plan that, like, yeah, they're going to get here. The first, if they get contact with the Pac Mill or the Pac Police, we're going to hard point. We don't want to get in a shootout with them because they're not our enemy, and then you can send someone to negotiate with the Pakistanis and pull them out. And he goes, that's interesting. And then he looked at the chief of staff of the Air Force and said, what do you need to rain hell on Pakistan? My guys aren't fucking surrendering to anybody.
No shit.
So that's what I heard, and that's pretty cool. And that was, so this is a mission now where politics is out the window. And then you got to figure, President Obama, he's going to lose re-election if we all die. And that, not that matters, but it does to him. Yeah. But he's making the fucking call because this is what we're going to do. So we have birds behind us. Like, if we need to get, if we need a QR, an IRF and a QRF, we got our guys coming in, and we're fighting. And I know we have shit above us, but they didn't really tell us because we got enough on our plate. Like, I'm assuming someone that's invisible has some bombs up. So we're flying in, 90 minutes to get into Bin Laden's house. And we can get shot down now at any time. We don't know if this technology works. We don't know if the most high-speed Pakistani new guy is manning the radar system pointing that way, and he'll shoot us down. And we can't even be mad at him because we're invading. Yeah. But worrying about that missile isn't going to stop it. So if you're worrying about something, that it doesn't, stop worrying. You're wasting your energy. If we die, we die. And so I'm looking around at other guys in this bird. How are they handling it? And dudes are sleeping. And I remember thinking, you were asleep on the ride to Bin Laden's house. You have ice in your veins, man. That's just fucking insane. And I'm sitting next to Cairo, the dog, and then Cheese. He wrote the book No Ordinary Dog. They're back there, and Cairo's just, being a good boy, and I was counting to keep. I learned in Kosovo as a sniper to count when you're glassing something, and you just count 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 0, and then change your cadence. Keep your mind working, but keep focused. And we're like 90 minutes in, or 80 minutes into a 90-minute flight, and we banked to the south, and I don't know how I remembered it, but I was counting 556, 557. Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended. Politics, whatever, that's what George Bush said on 9/11. And I was like, shit, I'm going to keep saying that. And then it's like, wow, I'm on this mission, we're on this mission, we're going to fucking kill him. So we did another bank, and then the air crew guys opened the door, and now we're looking out, it's not even, and that's something they don't get credit for. The air crew guys, they put their asses in those seats too. If we get shot down, they're dying as well. And their job was to keep the bird flying and open the fucking door. What if we couldn't figure out how to open the door? Something that simple. He knew how to do it. He opens it up. Now Abbottabad, Pakistan is a resort town. And there's electricity. This is not a training area. This is not Afghanistan. This is some serious Navy SEAL shit we're about to do. So the perfect plan I was in the second bird. The first bird's going to go right in between Bin Laden's house and the guest house. They're going to fast rope everyone out. We're going to insert a sniper, some snipers, a dog, an interpreter, and a machine gun. Then my team's going to go to the roof. We're going to fast rope down onto the roof, and then we're going to figure out how to get to the balcony. And basically I'm going to fucking jump. And I'm going to shoot it out. There's probably a window there. Bin Laden's in the woman told me third floor, Bin Laden is in his house. And that's what's going to happen. And then it went to shit because I guess there was an updraft. The weather was different or something. And the pilot realized that if an inexperienced pilot would have tried to power it up, and that would have flipped it or something. He explained that later. He said the safest thing now, if I can pin it to the ground and that put the tail on the fence, we could live. So he did that, and he saved everyone's lives just making that decision.
Shit.
And it was on purpose. And then so we took off to go to the roof, but our pilot, now the communications is kind of sketch here. Our pilot saw him do that, and he realized that, well, shit, if he can't hover, I'm not trying up there. So he just went back down. So all we know is we went up and we came down, and the pilot's basically saying, get out. And I remember putting my first foot came out, and I'm looking at Bin Laden's house, and I remember thinking, fuck it, I guess we'll start the war from here. And I knew damn well there's a wall, just because we trained so much. There's a door on the wall, northeast corner, which is off to my left. And so the breacher decided to go up and put a 7-foot charge of C6 on it. So now because we're hitting this side, they're somewhere in there, I think. We're gonna go into the house this way, and we can go up with them. He blasted the door. It opened like a tin can, and there's a brick wall behind it. So on the wall, there's a wall, and the breacher said, "All right, failed breach. This is bad." He said, "No, this is good. That's a fake door. Nobody does that. He's in there." So then we know there's another door over here, which is the carport, which we know opens because the cars go in and out. And we didn't know what happened. We heard them saying -1 going around, but what they were saying was -1 going down. So we just gave them a courtesy. Hey, we're going to blast the carport, and they said, "Don't blast it. We'll open it." And the door opened, and the thumb came out with a glove that I recognized. And that now we're at a point in life where it doesn't matter why you're here, you just are.
Yeah.
I tell football teams that all the time. It doesn't matter why it's 2nd and 15. It just is. Time's kicking. Let's move. So we walk in. It didn't make sense to me why they're in there. I saw the air crew standing there. I saw American flags, but different gear. I remember thinking, who the fuck are these guys? Whatever. And so there's already a gunfight. Stuff's going on. Explosions. We go into the main house. There's guys going down the hallway. This is the first floor of Bin Laden's house, and we're backed into this room. And I'm like looking around for bombs. Like they're going to blow this house up. If anyone's going to martyr himself, it's Bin Laden. I don't see any, but I'm seeing guys knowing that they could blow up, but they're not. It's not affecting them. They're doing their jobs and being proud of them. Like this is just, you guys are fucking cool. And the guy next to me in the room, he whispered and he said, "Helicopter crashed." And I said, "What helicopter?" And I thought some of the birds behind us had crashed. But he said, "Bro, our helicopter crashed in the front yard. You walked right past it."
Holy shit.
That's like, okay, that makes sense.
Coming in at number 4, SEAL Team 6 operator Eddie Penney recounts his first kill in combat.
I can remember my first kill.
Let's talk about that.
I can't remember my first hit.
Do you want to talk about your first kill?
Sure. We were... remember the guy? He was wearing his white man jammies, and he had like black and white peppered hair. And at this particular compound, they were sleeping outside. Usually they're up on the roof. And in summer it was summertime, but they were in the courtyard or like outside. So there's like these little bodies, and you can hear our recce guys, our snipers. You can hear their silenced 45s just taking dudes out, taking their little sentries out. And I'm like, okay, that's like cool sounding. And this is probably my I don't know, 10th time out maybe. Never found myself in the right position. I'm like, and I was hungry. I was like, oh God. I think Dom got his first one. I'm like, God, I want to be you. And he's like, you can just see the smile on his face. I'm like, give it to me, please. And so this dude and his wife were sleeping on the ground. And we're coming up, and it was enough to go white light. And I just see him reach over, and I could see the pistol grip, goes for it, and then I just dropped him. just dropped him right there. Right, well, he was already down. Just shot him there as he lay. And I remember one thing that was so crazy about that is his wife right next to him did not make any peep, did not cry. She just looked over and just stayed there. She sat up. That was it. She had no emotion.
Are you kidding?
And I was like, that's weird, right? It's weird. It was very weird. It's like she knew his time was coming. She's just waiting for the night for us to hit him.
Do you think she was relieved?
Possibly. I mean, who knows? I mean, she could have been forced to be there. But she had, I mean, I would be led to believe that. If we have no emotion, I mean...
Seems so.
I hope my wife would cry or something.
Yeah.
But there was nothing, man. It was just seemed very weird. And then we just like take on the targets, and then that feeling of putting those bullets into them was just like, I know crack is extremely addictive. Extremely. I've never done it, but you hear the stories, right? Talk to some prior users or whatever. That feeling was like, I was like, I want my life to be this feeling. Like, I want to shoot as many bad guys as I possibly can. And that was my mission. Is like, bad guy, you're going down. Like, that was, I mean, that's what we're there for anyways. Mm-hmm. Is to take it to him. And I loved it. I loved it. It was my oxygen. It was the blood that ran through my system.
Do you remember all of them?
No. At times I'll think about something or I'll see something. It will make me think of one. But I can't. There's no way. I mean, there's dozens. I can't think of them all.
How many times was it just you engaging a bad guy versus...
Our whole team or something?
Yeah.
Dozens.
Dozens.
A lot, yeah. I mean, I never kept count. I tried to, and not much luck. I mean, a lot. I mean, probably 50-ish or something around there. Okay. Solo ones. I mean, not including assists or whatever it is.
Did that feeling ever start to change?
I wanted it more.
You wanted it more?
I wanted it more.
As time went on?
I wanted it more. Especially when you get into our later deployments and your buddies are passing, and it stirs something up, and you just want to take it to them. I mean, you want to take it to them, and just get their evil. Once you really learn what they do to women and children, to an American convoy, to other people, other contractors or whatever, we had, to paint a picture for you, what I mean is we had one op where I took a shot on a guy. He was reaching for his AK. He like had it in his hand. He was like about ready to swing it around. Dropped him. And I don't know why I felt this way, but I felt a little bit of remorse. Like I was like, man, I just felt bad. It wasn't a justified shooting. It felt weird. It felt different than the other ones. It just felt weird. And so I was curious. So we get back from the op, and I go to the our intel shack, and I'm like, hey man, if you find anything on this dude, we do our pick up whatever they have at the target and exploit it. And I was like, hey, if you find anything, like please come get me. And a couple hours later, he's like, hey, follow me. So we go to his little computer, and one of the CDs we found, it's this guy that I just took out. He's got KBR contractors, truck drivers from like the Philippines, staked on the side of like this highway in Iraq. They're tied up with their hands behind their back and their feet wrapped around the post. And there's probably, I'd say somewhere between 3 and 5. And these guys, where this one dude was one of them, was doing ballistics on him. He would stab him. He would shoot him in different parts. Not like shoot him in the head and like take him out, but like your leg, your side, stab him here. And they were laughing and they were giggling. And I was like, how could you do that? And then I'm like, you're dealing with pure evil. That's how you do it. I mean, it's pure evil. And that was one of the times a thing kind of changed. I was like, you get no more remorse from me. You don't you get nothing. I don't feel sorry for you at all. And I was like, after that, like, things upped it.
Yeah.
I was like, if there was a way to kill harder, I sure in heck was searching for it.
Did you see that early in your career?
What do you mean?
That specific incident?
It
where you saw the guy's
was
laptop?
probably, man, I mean, they all kind of run together. I'd say probably third or fourth deployment
Okay.
over there.
How many deployments did you do?
Probably third. A total of 7,
Okay.
5 with Dev.
Were you always privileged to that kind of information? You know, seeing you hit a guy at a target, or the team takes somebody out, or you take somebody out, and the intel team does the SSC and the target. Do you guys always get to see the information and the what am I searching for?
Like what they find, pretty much all of
Yes.
it. Not all of it.
What these guys have been responsible for doing.
Some we do, but it's like Cliff Note version. Like a couple liners. Hey, this is what they were doing. They just hit this convoy that killed 5 Americans. You'll hear about that, but not like the details. Like, we've been looking for this guy for X amount of years. Unless you really want to know, and you just go talk to them, and they'll tell you. You get the information.
Okay.
That guy I wanted to know about, and he showed me. Had I not probably asked him, I never would have known about that. I'm glad I did. But it changed something. It kind of calloused me. We hear the word calloused, right? Mm-hmm. In the military, we're getting calloused. Like, yeah, you're right. We are, and there's a reason for it. And yeah, just heart of my heart. I looked at humanity a little bit differently.
Coming in at number 3, Delta Force operator John Shrek Mcphee recounts capturing Saddam Hussein's mistress.
So I land in Iraq. I get to the VVIP. Like, my fucking desk is a marble table 60 fucking feet long. I'm in this ornate room with bath party symbols on the ceiling. It's wood. It's marble. We got like a fucking 4-6 head gold shower. Like, I'm like, yo, this is war. That fucking thing hitting me in the nuts, the gold thing that's low. Like, this is how you fucking war right here, not fucking shitting in a hole. So in one day, I went from like shitting in a hole to like fucking gold showers. Loved every fucking second of it ever since then. It's fucking great.
How was the op tempo over there?
Iraq is amazing, man. We do 10 hits, 20 hits. Fuck, I don't know how many a night. You know what I mean? Like
10 to 20 hits a night?
Oh, yeah. It was
How the
awesome.
fuck do you do 10 to 20 hits a night?
Well, not only that, but during the Saddam fucking days, we might have to clear a whole village. Like, that could be 100 houses tonight. Like, door to door looking for these fucking Saddam sightings. You know what I mean? It was fucking amazing. It was amazing, man. I mean, in the unit, I think they call it like a shred fest, where you do like 24, 36 hours, target after target after. As many as you could do. There's another one where you could hit somewhere else, another one. That's what Iraq was, shred fest. And then my squadron, you don't want to sitting around the house tonight because we're going to get drunk and break shit. So, we don't care if it's Joe shit, the fucking rag man. Let's go get that bitch tonight. Keep me fucking busy. And I think a couple nights, like, guys fucked up the house, and the commander from then on was like, okay, you guys don't get any days off. And it's like, that's what we've been fucking saying the whole time. Like, no one's dying at Bragg. We want to go out every fucking night. You know what I mean? So my squadron, man, we were in the beginning, I believe, way more aggressive than other squadrons. Like, by far. You know what I mean?
Can you talk about, let's just talk about some of the operations that you were a part of there.
Let's see. Saddam was captured 9 days after I left country, and me and another guy worked the intel on Saddam like the whole time. I rolled up his tailor. You ever see the video where Saddam shoots the Mauser in the air?
Yeah.
And he's got the fox fur hat on. I own that hat.
No way.
Yeah, I own that hat.
Nice.
Yeah. But I rolled up his tailor. Like, I had all his clothes at one point, right? And I got this Italian sweater, and it's like blue and like a red stripe or some shit. I wear it on Christmas Eve. I look like a fat man in a little coat. Like it's like a large, you know, my beer belly's hanging out the bottom. You know what I mean? Like I normally wear that on Christmas Eve. I got a sweater from him. You know what I mean? But yeah, we rolled up his tailor, everybody that fucking washed his dick, we rolled them up. Like we were, you know, climbing it. And then 9 days after I left, C Squadron got him. And like, I think we already had the intel and it was already in the works. We had to go home for Christmas. So they caught him 9 days after I left. But, you know, man, we fucking... one of those like kings or one of the deck of cards, you know what I mean? Like I paid no attention to it other than getting the X off the poster on the wall. But like, you know, one of those guys, we fucking low vis shotgun breached the front door, right? Fucking held his family hostage, told his family, contact him. Till he gives himself in. Fucking guy turned himself in like 3 days later in Mosul or some shit. You know what I mean? We took his family hostage, just fucking in his family home. Like we got his sisters, his grandma, his mom. Like, yeah, we did a lot of weird shit for Saddam. We captured Saddam. Saddam had a favorite piece of ass. Like,
Really?
oh yeah, he had this. His favorite fuck was this lady, and like. She was not hot, but she was married. So we figured maybe she knew where he went. So we rolled up her husband one day, right? I had him go to the Saddam's tailor store. Had the tailor tell him to come to the store. And then then we had these Mohawk guys, you know the Mohawks? We had locals that helped us and we trained them. And then they ended up becoming later the CT force, right?
Okay.
But we had a couple guys we trained, we trusted, right? So I told my guys I was in a surveillance van out front, my minivan. If you ever see the picture where I'm all sweaty in the back of a van, this is me kind of watching over what's going on. So I didn't tell anybody. I didn't have time to tell my boss or anybody. And then my two guys, I was like, hey, if we can't get this guy quick, go start a fight on the streets to get them all out of the store. So had my two Mohawks start fist fighting in front of the store, just like anywhere in the world, right? Everyone comes outside to see what's going on. Literally, the guy comes out to watch and like the assault team, like he's standing his back to the door they're going to snatch him with. And literally, shoot.
Oh, nice.
Fucking drive away. And then they're like, where'd the guy go? He disappeared in the crowd. My boss is like, he disappeared. I'm like, no, the assault team's got him. He's like, who the fuck are the guys fighting? Those are our guys. Did you tell him to fight? I was like, yeah. He was like, you should have fucking told me. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. This happens so quick sometimes, you know? But yeah, we captured his favorite piece of ass husband, thinking that might help. It didn't. But in capturing everyone in his inner circle, what I would tell you is they were all Christians.
Were they
Saddam,
really?
If you touch Saddam, I don't care if you touch his dick or you fucking put clothes on his body. If it touches him, it was Christians. Because Christians martyr themselves. They go to hell. Muslims martyr themselves. They're fucking going to heaven. So his inner circle, the people that fed him, clothed him, fucking washed his dick, we rolled them all up. They were all Christians.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And that's why there was always Christians in Iraq. And that's why Iraq was fairly Western. Because he had no beef with Christians. And he knew as human beings, less likely to kill him. That's all he wanted around him, his inner circle. Now, all the military commanders or whatever, fucking sheiks, I don't know, whatever the fuck they were doing, they were all savages. But his inner circle was Christians.
I'll be damned. I did not know that.
And then we snatched the guy who used to give Saddam baths. I was inside the tailor's house on the roof. I went to the tailor's house, and I knew he was supposed to be coming. I was kind of early setting shit up. He showed up early. Me and another guy had to go to the roof. I called the assault force, right? As he was driving away, literally ran into the Humvee of the assault force. snatch that guy. Yeah, we did a lot of the unique snatches for the deck of cards. Like, should be its fucking movie on its own. You know what I mean? We did a lot of great shit. I mean, I gotta be honest. People always try to thank me for my service. I'm not the motherfucker you should be thanking. You should thank the kid that was like grinding. I did whatever the fuck I wanted, like, and it was amazing, like all the time amazing. And it was I learned in Afghanistan, we needed to be much fucking smarter if we wanted to win. And I also knew we can't do enough hits to win this war. We can't. There's no fucking way. You know what I mean?
What did you think of Iraq?
Strategically, taking out Saddam, fucking horrible for the world. Look where we are now. Yeah. Should have left that motherfucker. I'd have pumped him full of all kinds of shit to fucking beat Iran again. You know what I mean? However, we gave it all away. It's a fucking shit show, just like Afghanistan. But the reality is this is how it fucking goes. You know what I mean? Don't get upset. It's the fine print. You should have read it.
Do you think we should have ever been there in the first place?
I think there's no benefit to fucking taking Saddam out. I also thought there was no benefit. You know, Afghanistan, Mullah Omar came out years later and said, George Bush gave us 48 hours and invaded at hour 40. He said if he would have gave me full 48 hour, his answer was give up bin Laden.
No shit, I did not know that either.
The shit the fucking media doesn't like to put out.
How do you know that?
Because I read.
Where did you read that?
Oh, man, I don't even remember. But yeah, he wanted to give up bin Laden, and we attacked too soon, and then he was like, fuck him.
Interesting. It's almost like we wanted the war.
Imagine that. Now, I wanted the war too, don't get me wrong. I was 100% for that shit. Rocket, mortars, fucking send it. Let's go. No one dies on Bragg, you know? So I was all for it, but strategically, meh, you believe in your bosses. Sometimes they get it wrong, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Did you experience loss of a teammate ever?
Yeah, fuck yeah, all the time. Even in training, man, like, the guy I was partnered with in Bosnia all the time, fucking rotor blade took the top of his head off one night, like Thursday night live fire, you know?
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, people die.
Did that affect you at all?
No.
It did.
Fucker, you died doing what you love? I'd fucking high-five you for that. I'd high-five myself for that. You know what I mean? Like, you died doing the one thing you're here for. Not a better death.
How many teammates have you lost?
Fuck, I don't know, man. So many now. Fucking cancer.
Cancer.
If you'd have told me join the Delta Force and be fighting cancer the rest of your fucking time, or your buddies are going to die of cancer. I made a state in South America banging Colombian girls. You know what I mean?
Coming in at number 2. CIA operator Tony Cowden recounts intense gunfight with 26 enemy insurgents.
I like telling people the dumb, funny shit that happened to me. All right, like one time I was running to a target, fast as I could. I want to be number one man. Tripped, fell, and breached the door with my face and my nods. Right? Just, fast as I could go. I'm a young stud. Tripped, fell, wound up in the foyer of this building with my nods sideways, my helmet all choking me out. And my buds run by and they're like, get up, dude. All right, I'll get up now. Breach her up. But yeah, I was sitting in traffic one morning, getting ready to cross over Bridge 1, the northernmost bridge, high-rise bridge in Mosul. Traffic's thick, we can't get anywhere. And I'm like, talking to the helicopters. We've got the old Kiowas supporting us on our way out. We're headed, I think we were going to DeHook, maybe Erbil. DeHook, because we were going up that bridge. And there's like one exit that goes down into downtown before the river. And we're just sitting there, sitting in traffic. And sometimes when you tell Americans, like, yeah, we used to ride around by ourselves. And we were in low-profile cars in civilian attire and just chilling, sitting in traffic. They're like, what? And typically speaking, that low profile is what kept us alive. But that morning we got made. And so it was like a late 90s 7 Series, the boxing one, not the space shuttle looking one, you know. And luckily it was level 7. And I'm talking to the helicopter, checking text messages, you know, doing comms, blah, blah. And all of a sudden my bro goes and jumps. And I look at him and his eyes are this big. And I'm like this. And right next to my window is an AK muzzle. Dudes had pulled up in a red Opel. What other kind of car is there, right? Freaking pulls up next to us, and the dude in the back seat is leaning out of the window, and he's pretty much, he could have tapped my window with his AK, and he went full auto. And I would love to be able to tell people that my reaction was cool, tough, badass. I've been shot up before. You'd think I'd have been cooler. Nope. I went and threw my hands up like I'm going to stop those bullets. Yeah. And he chewed about half that glass out. And his driver floorboards it. So like about half his mag went right here. He'd have killed us both, you know, for armor. And his driver punches it. So some of the rounds kind of hit the windshield and went down the hood of the car. And you know, unless you're a suicide bomber, you need an exit plan. And they didn't have a good one because the exit was completely stopped up with traffic. They went about 30 meters, bro, and were stopped. They had one AK and one magazine.
Nice.
And they had just emptied it. I got out of the car, calmly, coolly, basically walked up to them. And, well, anyway, freaking... they didn't shoot any more Americans. That's the kind of goofy stuff, man, that happens that I don't think a lot of us want to talk about. You know, like, and I don't care. I'm like, look, man, for the 20 funny stories I have 200 missions that went awesome, or, you know, that it would probably be a cooler war story to share. I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, so I went in and we breached this door and went into this room, shot a dude. That happened all the time. You know, that's just what we were doing. But it's the funny stuff. Like,
yeah, I've been in that situation.
Tried to put my head in my bro's shoulder, you know, and was going to stop bullets with my hands, you know. But it just shows us that, you know, like, you're still going to react. You know, we can't help it. Stupid stuff like that, man. Goofy stuff. I mean, you know, I enjoyed Iraq because, you know, working with my Kurds and stuff, after I left GRS, got to do a lot of amazing missions. Some dudes became my brothers. You know, they were awesome. The little Peshmerga Special Forces. It was a platoon, a SEAL platoon's worth of Kurds, and stood up by Dev, CIA sanctioned thing. Dev group guys stood it up and then handed it to us as contractors. And it was cool because it was trained by advise and assist, you know.
Where did you move to?
Up in the palace, Barzani's compound.
I mean, from GRS to...
So over to SAD, which I guess now they're calling themselves the Directorate, Ground Branch. So I went over there, and...
SAD stands for Special Activities Division, right?
Which is the umbrella for the Directorates. And like I said, last I heard, JRS was still underneath SAD. Not sure. But yeah, man, I mean, you know, one time we had a dude run out in front of us. And my bud just floorboards it, you know, drive. And this dude had that trigger pin on that AK, even when he was underneath our car. We had a Suburban. And, one of his rounds hit the brake reservoir, and the computer shut the vehicle down. So follow vehicle comes up, pushes us, and we had Suburbans all taxied out, you know, hajied out or whatever. And for folks listening, basically we would just take armored vehicles and then make them look like you would. And there are, people don't know this, there are American cars in Iraq, and so like the Suburbans, you know, put little tassels and you'd haji it out, put chrome on it. You really want to get haji, you got to put chrome and gold, shiny things all over your Suburbans. And yeah, this dude, man, God bless his heart, he was committed because underneath our truck, he was still pinning that trigger. And the guys that were pushing us were like, dude, you guys drugged that guy for 500 meters before he popped under our vehicle. And I think we drug him for another freaking 500 meters, just creating a slick down the pavement with this poor guy. I had a fight in Iraq where I wound up by myself because one of my guys got killed, and it was just the two of us doing surveillance stuff. And
how did he get killed?
Round. Kind of sucked, man. We got made. We were pretty low profile. Thought we were pretty good, but as we were leaving this neighborhood, one of the lookout type bad guys or whatever definitely made us, man. He did the double take, and it was like we got slowed down as we passed him, and it was like, oh shit, like we're made. And made the call. Hey guys, just FYI guys, we're compromised. We're RTBing, returning to base. All's cool. We pull out, went up, made a U-turn, and this dude comes running out with an RPG. And I'm already on the gas. I was driving. And probably 55, 65 mile an hour. And RPG. And I swerved right into it. Took it in the hood, took it in the grill. That made the steering not work. And we went into one of those big metal light posts,
Yeah.
And the median was like this tall up into that, wham. And, of course, on all those vehicles, we had the airbags disabled and all that kind of stuff. And I ate the steering wheel pretty good and was dazed and confused. And my guy's like, wake up, man, wake up. And get together. And he's like, we got to go that way. Roger. Yep. Hard pointing over there. Got it. And it's like, ready. Let's go. Pop the doors. And, I moved around to the hood and started giving the guys and they were pot shotting us at this point. They weren't 100% sure what they were dealing with. And so the bad guys, it's 3 lanes and then, so full 6 lanes there of road. And then the sidewalk and then kind of an alleyway that they were kind of, shooting at us from. And it didn't take much to back them up. They were just real uncertain with what they were dealing with. You know what I mean? They're like, what are these guys? You know what I mean? They knew that big bearded dudes in Humvees and MRAPs were not to be messed with. Those are scary guys. But they didn't know what we were in this sedan. Like, what the? So anyway, it didn't take me but a few rounds into that fight to realize he had not come around the other side of the vehicle.
Fuck.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just kind of looked and I could see his legs still in the car. His door was open. So I ran around there and he was done. The round that went through him hit me in the back. And the only reason I know it was that round is because I had blood on my back. And I had no other time in this fight that I could have gotten blood on my back. The round went through him and hit me right in the back plate. So I ran around and grabbed him, and he had a Mark 46. And I'm dragging him, and as I round the car, his foot catches the muffler because I rounded the corner a little too short. And so I slipped and fell. So he's in my lap, and I'm looking, and here comes these dudes. They're like, oh, opportunity. So I'm just like, trying to give him a little love, push him back a little bit. I get back up, turn around, and, with his grabbing his armor and ran. Had to drag him over that median, which he was all hung up on. Across the lanes. There's traffic, man. There's people. And bullets are flying and, like, people. You know how, like,
yeah.
And just, sometimes people would scatter in fights in Iraq, and sometimes they were just going about their business.
Yeah.
Like, gunfight, people, leave.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to drag through traffic and stuff, and not a lot of traffic, just a couple cars in my way trying to get to this one little, storefront. And as I'm pulling him up on the daggone sidewalk on the other side of the road, I slipped and fell again. And at this point, I pulled up his saw and went on like a 200-round burst. I shot almost an entire drum with like 3 bursts, just figure eighting. And that was very helpful because now all of a sudden these dudes and like, you know, they've got a couple of their buddies that ain't fighting anymore. So I was doing okay. And at this point, like, I'm like, okay, I'm still okay. My buds are on the way, right? My buds have got to be on the way by now, right? I've been asking for help, contact, asking for help. They know. It wasn't until 3 or 4 buildings later that I realized I had also been shot in my fucking emitter.
Oh.
I'm talking on a radio that doesn't work. And I left my cell phone on a Velcro patch on the dash of the car.
Shit.
So now I got no comms. And like I said, I'm still talking on the radio, asking for help, and, you know, freaking, you know, trying to give updates on my movements and stuff. And I get him in, and the store owner basically, in English, asked me, you know, can I help you? And I'm like, please just leave. Just get out of here, bro. You know? And so he took off, and I rolled up this dude in a carpet and stuck him underneath the stairwell. And I tossed a PDM in the doorway. For folks that don't know, a PDM is a pursuit deterrent munition. It's a little mine, if you will, that you pull a little string or pull a pin on it, and I can't remember, 6 or 8 wires pop out of it, little trip wires. And so when someone comes after you, they trip it, it goes off, and ideally deters them from pursuing you. Pursuit deterrent munition. And threw one in the doorway, took a couple more shots, took off, and started bounding back, right? I took everything that I could off of him, his pistol mags. He didn't have any AR mags. And he had like a 100-round nut sack. It's a smaller sack for the saw. I took a saw, man for at this point, I'm like, okay, right? I'm going to get up on the roof, make a call. Helicopters will be here in a minute. And so I went up on the roof, and it was a flat roof with no knee walls. Had my VS-17 panel out, and that is when I discovered my radio was making a lot of. It had some rattly pieces, and what it was, you know, those radio holders that you fold down,
Yeah.
you know, like hinged. I was like, man, I must be on the wrong net. Something's wrong. So I'm like, I'm going to a different net, and I opened that up, and it was like, and I was like, ah, shit. The screen was blank. Funny thing was, that AK round is still in that emitter. I have it at home. I still have the radio. And that AK round is in the emitter. It did not go through and hit my plate.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Our radios are ballistic, or at least in this case, mine was. Stupid stuff, right? I left my VS-17 panel on the roof because I started taking fire. And I was like, ooh. I jumped off the roof. It was like, basically, the roof I was on, second story, first story roof that was like this, but wasn't here. When I got up there, I didn't make a mental note that that part of the roof didn't exist. So I went running and jumped off thinking I was going to land on this and missed. All the way to the dirt, dude. 2 stories, you know. And I was just like, oh my God, that hurt. Whew, you know, got myself together. And I remember as I stood up, dude came running around the corner. Like, I mean, maybe double the distance, me and you. And I'm like on my knees. I'm starting to get up, and I look, and he runs, and he looks right through me. He's mid-20s. Looks. And takes off. And I'm like, his buddy runs up behind him, keeps going past the little alleyway, and I hear him hitting the brakes. He saw me out of the peripheral vision, and he came back and poked his head around the corner. So I dumped him. His buddy sees it happening, and I start to move to the corner, and we almost run into each other. He comes hauling ass around the corner, freaking, and I'm like, it was kind of weird because it was like, pow, and he hits my muzzle and like kind of, you know.
And coming in at number 1, Cody Alford recounts his experience from one of the bloodiest wars in history.
The body mutilations, the beheadings, the dismemberment,
the human shields,
all that.
it was crazy. And I remember one day, the we started getting stuff delivered to our fire base. It wasn't a fire base, it's a base. Camp. And all the workers we had coming to help us, local nationals, their heads arrived in a bag outside of our gate. And so getting people to come help the Americans was extremely difficult.
They sent all the heads of your local workers to your front gate? Holy shit. How many heads? Did you know these guys?
Did not. I'm just a dude. I'm still like living in La La Land because we're waiting for the mission. I'm just wondering why we're not getting a water supply. I'm wondering why, this thing hasn't been delivered. I'm just a dude. I'm waiting with my scratch off phone card, waiting in line for an hour and a half to use the fucking morale phone. Because I'm still living in a reality that I don't even know where I'm in and where I'm at. Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting for tasking. But all these big things are happening. And at the time, I was a low-level guy. I wasn't really involved. You just hear the stories. Then you start.
What the fuck does that brief look like? Hey, if you guys are wondering where our local workers are, their heads have all been chopped off and they're in packages at the front door.
Well, back then, dissemination of information wasn't really a thing. And that's my perspective. That's my view on things. And I say that because when we finally got the green light to go in, it was March 26, 2004. And we are tasked with, we are pushing through the city of Fallujah and we're clearing it.
With how many people?
Our entire battalion. So 4 companies. My Marine math is not that great when it comes to the breakdown of all those outfits.
100.
Hundreds.
200.
Multiple battalions. So there's other units. Because I believe Fallujah was a 4x4 grid square. Or 2x2, something of that nature. And my battalion was the main effort. So other adjacent battalions were doing other combat missions to support our push through the city. So they were more on the outskirts, kind of like funneling people towards us. So the plan was. And so we stage at like 02, 03 in the morning on our camp. But the night prior, my platoon commander comes in and he's like, everyone's gonna write their death letter.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I got goosebumps even thinking about that. Because at the time, I didn't know. I saw some guys get shrapnel wounds. I heard the stories of the heads. I seen and hear the explosions. But then I'm told to write my own death letter. And I'm like, what do you say? What do I do? And I had a girlfriend at the time, so I wrote a letter to her. My parents were in my life. I wrote a letter to my parents. And we all turned our letters over to our platoon commander. And that's when I knew shit was fucking real.
Do you still have those letters?
I don't.
What'd you write?
I really don't remember. I wrote what an 18-year-old kid probably would. I was motivated at the time, so I probably wrote some shit like, I'm dying for, I fought for my country, I fought for my team. I love you guys, I miss you.
You think your parents still have that letter?
No, my parents got more than a letter later.
Okay. Well, we'll wait for that.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Right on. I mean, that's fucking demoralizing.
Yeah, it was pretty demoralizing, but at the same time, I didn't know any different. None of us knew. No one knew. And I get it. Some people might be thinking, "Oh, dude, it's war. What did you expect?" But no, I've been to war. This was hell. This was something that shaped my life for the rest of my life. As long as I live, I will never forget that. I won't remember all the details. I still don't remember all the details. I don't remember all the phase lines. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember the feeling. And I have never been able to shake it ever since. So we load up in these trucks. I'm in a 7-ton, those big, very clunky, non-quiet diesel, 18 military tactical vehicles. And we're all smoking cigarettes, light discipline. We're still on base because the drive is only like 10 minutes. The drive from your DVD player, your shitty fucking food, and the thing you call a bed, you're 10 minutes away from hell. And it's just outside your gate. And the drive was that 10 minutes. 10 minutes of fucking silence and pure fucking darkness. And I just remember feeling like the rumbles of the truck. I smell the JP8, the fuel. You know, you can feel that energy for all those fucking souls that are there. These fucking dudes, you know, like you can feel it. The silence, that bonding that speaks no words. That mindset that has no category. It just is what it is. And only situations can bring that about. And we stopped right outside the city. It's the cloverleaf. It was like this highway. There's a highway right outside of it. And there's this cloverleaf of a highway, like entrance points, on ramps, off ramps. And we park outside of that and we unload. And it's just dead quiet. It's pitch black. But there's these street lights. And we're all like, what's going on? You know, what are we doing here? Like, what's the next phase? What's the next step? And you hear gunshots. And a few of us, to include myself, we like duck. Well, it's our guys shooting out these streetlights, which it's not as easy as movies make, especially with 5.56. And it took a couple shots to make these things happen. And then it got super quiet. And then my team leader comes up and he's like, hey, we're tasked to do Overwatch and push forward. I'm like, okay, I was a point man. That was my fucking job. I was good at it. So not only am I navigating to a destination, which we didn't have one, my head's on the swivel. I have to see everything and relay that back. Because it's our mission to provide information to our battalion, to our commanders, our subordinate commanders, so they can create and determine what's intelligence and what needs to be action and what needs to happen. And right on the outskirts of the city was this unconstructed building. And I remember making my way up there, and it's beautiful. The sun's peaking. There's that smell of unknown, a new country. And it was so peaceful and quiet. It was insane. Saw nobody. We slowly start to push up. We're still remaining in an Overwatch position. And the IFABs come up. These small Mercedes Jeeps, and our weapons guys, our weapons company guys, the guys with the Mark 19s, the 50 cal, the 240s were mounting on these little things. And I remember they pushed up in an L shape to provide support so the infantrymen can continue to push up and bound as they were trained to do. Bound from one place to the next place, and we're gonna clear this village, this city. And then, like that, an IFAB just disappears. And it blew up, like literally like right in front of us. And I was like, holy fuck, this is real. Like I always knew it was real. I heard the stories. I saw the explosions. I fucking saw the holes in the bodies. But now I'm there in the thick of it. There's no chow time. There's no break. There's no pee break. This is it. And it's like maybe 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. The day has just begun. And that doesn't stop anybody. We push the fight. We continue to push. Now sporadic gunshots start happening. Now we have ground elements that are maneuvering. You know, now we're in this hustle and bustle. There was no martial law. There was no stability operations. This is a fight now. And still not to the full capacity of what was awaiting us in Fallujah. And at the time, to me, as a point man on a sniper team, I didn't think there was a lot of planning. I'm not saying I was a master planner back in the day, but I learned about phase lines later in life. And there was no phase lines during this. There was no limits of advance. There was no real plan. It was, hey, go here, move forward. It was kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, see what stuck. And so we get tasked again. We're like, hey, you guys push forward, establish overwatch. You guys push forward, relay back to us, and the grunts will push forward also. We're like, okay. So that's what we did. And now we're getting targeted. I find myself on another rooftop. And as a point man, I'm holding rear security, baby. I'm watching that door leading up to the stairwell. Not a fun job. My friends are shooting. They're engaging. They're seeing people with guns. You know, they're doing their job. And I'm like, watching this door. And then I realized watching this door became very interesting because I started to get shots all around my head, you know, pew, 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 hitting the wall. So I'm like ducking. I'm like, shit. So now I put that in perspective, like, yo, bro, you might be holding security in the rear, dude, but like, you can't just hold security in the rear. You got to hold security all over the place. You have to be observant. Is your head past that you know, ledge? You know, what is your guys doing? Have you looked back to see what they're doing? And like, I'm learning all these things that I've never learned in training.
Damn.
And not like I was not trained properly, but there's only one way to learn certain things, and you have to collectively put it together. That's why, you know, investing in training is extremely important. Well, back in the day, we trained the best we could with the funds we had and the knowledge and experience that we had. Well, you know, I can't tell you how many TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures came out of, and SOPs, standard operating procedures, came out of Fallujah alone.
Yeah.
Because tactics that you thought you were going to do, you were still doing this Cold War era tactics. Well, that shit does not work in an urban environment like that, where that has been waiting for you, waiting to dominate your soul, literally waiting to kill you. There was kill houses set up all over the place. There was tunnel systems. There was rat lines. There were loopholes. There were channel walls knocked down to basically shoot in one house, and they could run through all these other walls. So no overhead aerial platform was going to see them. You know, you weren't going to see these guys. You were going to hear shots, and they were going to disperse because you're fighting a guerrilla warfare. You're fighting a true adversary.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for